please. Father God, thank you for bringing us all here together tonight, and we ask your blessings and your guidance and your direction on the business of the town as we conduct it this evening. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge of Allegiance. Spin around until you find the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Has council had an opportunity to review the minutes of the regular August 11th meeting?
Yes.
Are there any additions to the agenda or edits to the minutes?
I would like to add something. I have no idea where it goes. The community garden, we're talking about a structure, and we need to talk to council about that. So where would you want to put that?
Sure, let's put that under new business, item 11D, as in dog.
Okay.
Or as in dogwood.
So hearing none, I'll entertain a motion. I heard one, but anyway. I will entertain a motion to accept. Motion. Can I get a motion?
Accept the agenda as amended.
A second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. All righty, public comments. Do we have any public comments? We have a public comment.
Hi, my name is Lucy Santamore, and I live over off of East California Ave in Crewe, obviously. I'm bringing one resident that was not able to come today, is asking about the enforcement of trash guidelines. How is that going to be enforced? And then two, I had brought to the mayor's attention that I moved here about 3 years ago, bought brand new trash cans, brand new lids, had bungee cords. I even have a little thing that I take it out to the corner on so it doesn't sit in the street. And I, most of the time, am very lucky. I'm able to catch from when the trash man just throw the lids on the ground. The last storm, I was not that lucky. I have lost all 3 lids that I have. So my question is, when it was posted, it said that if we all work together, that we could, make sure that these things happen. And my question was, is this in regards to employees as well, or is this just into regards to the community residents? Because I will tell you, having to chase my trash cans 2, 3, 4 blocks over to catch them is ridiculous. And I find it absurd that now here we are 3 years later, and I've even said something to the guys before I was a young man, and it was like, well, but all of a sudden when, a trash bag was on top of my trash can, he could take it off my trash can, put it on the ground, and that be okay. But me having to chase my lids 4 blocks over is an issue. So my question is if we are going to have these rules, how are we going to make sure that they are enforced? If they're going to be enforced by not just us as the residents, but if this is also going to be an enforcement for the employees that are not adhering to these things, because I don't want to go and purchase another $60 worth of trash cans so I can get trash lids that I had and then go and spend another. I bought the fancy attached thing so I wouldn't lose them. So to have to go then spend another $10 or $15 on bungee cords, And it just, at some point, it starts becoming very redundant and repetitive when we are doing what we're supposed to.
Okay. I've talked to you. We've chit-chatted. I have some information here. I put it on here to talk about tonight. So I appreciate you coming. If you'll stay a little bit, you'll see.
All right.
Okay. That's awesome. Is there anyone else? I apologize. I was supposed to do the public hearing first. Oh, no, you're good. That was my fault. All right. We're now going to open the advertised public hearing for VDOT TAP grant sidewalk plan.
This isn't a formal public hearing. I just put it under public hearing so that it's
Okay.
so it's not not one that was advertised in the paper for 2 weeks.
Okay.
In the circular. But this is just to quickly go over the TAP grant that we're applying for. And to give anyone from the public any opportunity to comment. We also have a survey on our linked to our Facebook page, and encourage everyone to take that survey just to offer their input. Public input is a requirement of the TAP grant, so we are offering this opportunity. But if council wanted to look at their packet under the public hearing, just a little bit about what we're doing. We're applying for approximately $1.5 million in VDOT TAP funding to begin replacing our sidewalks. There's a 20% match requirement, $300,000 for a $1.5 million grant. This match requirement can be met with in-kind work, such as maintenance on sidewalks in the project area that we don't need to be replaced. So VDOT would be replacing sidewalks. There are some segments that we would be maintaining. Or performing maintenance work on. The funding period is fiscal year 27 to fiscal year 28, so that doesn't open until, or the fiscal period isn't until next year. When sidewalks are replaced by VDOT, VDOT will maintain them. As part of the grant application process, we're required to have public engagement on the proposed project. Which we're doing now. Our plan for the first phase of the sidewalk replacements is to focus on the historic commercial district, aligning with our other simultaneous projects. So Tyler from 460 Pennsylvania, which connects residents to the town center, as well as the library and the bus stop outside of the library. Carter from 460 to Pennsylvania, sort of that main artery there, connecting residents to the town center. Powell from 460 to Pennsylvania, connecting residents to the town center, and connecting the town center to the community center as well. In 460 from Lipscomb to Russell, which spans the historic commercial district, connects the town center to an essential store, Dollar General, connects the town center to recreation, the Veterans Memorial Park, and connects the town center to tourist destinations like the Railroad Museum, and aligns with VDOT's plan for sidewalk adjacent to the Railroad Museum with crosswalk at Carter. So basically, what VDOT has in their plans is the other side of 460. They're going to be putting a sidewalk in there and then a crosswalk at Carter. And after receiving feedback for the application. For the pre-application, we've engaged with Hearn Profit on helping us with technical aspects for our final submission. The nuts and bolts on some of the costs and such, rights of way and such. So the actions here are to hear from the public, pass a resolution approving the plan, which we can do later on in the agenda, and then approve inclusion in the CIP, which is item 11. See. It says D, but either way. So, any questions from council on any of that? I know that was a lot. Just glancing at some of the comments that we've received already. Most of the comments we've received 6 as of early afternoon today. Most of them are why these, why not other areas? Well, because we're trying to focus on on this historic downtown. VDOT also requires that the project lead to something, meaning like a physical location. So just a sidewalk, I don't want to say to nowhere because everyone's home is somewhere, but unless there's some other purpose that, that benefits, at least for this funding, the TAP grant funding. Someone commented that the sidewalks on Carolina are already really good. Well, that's because we're not focusing on Carolina. In fact, the ones on Carolina in the historic district are some of the few that are currently VDOT maintained. So that's Sean.
Just more of a comment. If the grant is restricted to certain guidelines, and that's where we need to be, then that's where we need to be. But I would agree with the person that said, of all the sidewalks that we have in Crewe, these are probably the best sidewalks we have in town right now. We've got sidewalks that other people walk and move throughout down on Maryland Avenue and some of those others running east to west that almost don't even exist anymore. The grass has grown up through them. I know that near Miss Horn's house, you've got blocks of concrete that are sticking up in the air because the roots of the trees have pushed them up there. These are by far the best sidewalks we have in the town. So with the exception of the new section that they're putting over there, if we're not restricted, and that doesn't mean that I don't think it, like I noticed that beside the Mason's Hall, the old oil building, that sidewalk is crumbling up some, but you had said that some of our in-kind work would be to repair some of the sidewalks rather than replace them. I think we've got sidewalks that are in a lot worse shape than what you guys are putting in this for the plan. I think this is putting, icing on a very well done cake while the rest of the town is suffering. And I think that when people give their concern to you and to us, they're not talking about Main Street. They're not talking about in front of Booker's or down to the old Crittenden's building. They're talking about Tennessee and Carolina and Maryland Avenue, where the sidewalks are all to pieces. The one in front of the house that I grew up in has got about 6 pieces of actual concrete left, and the rest of it is all broke up, gone, and grass is growing up through it. So I appreciate the effort, and I appreciate what kind of undertaking this is and how much money this is and what a benefit that is to us. I just feel like this could have been used better for the public somewhere else. So just my 2 cents. I wanted it on record that I don't necessarily agree with the layout and the plan of what streets were chosen to do this.
Well, and again, it's VDOT does have their I won't call them requirements, but their recommendations. Well, it is a requirement that it leads to somewhere. They also have the recommendations on where that somewhere is and how, because this is a competitive grant, we want to make it as our application as competitive as possible. I also want to point out that the best sidewalks are still pretty bad, especially in terms of ADA accessibility. And that's one big thing that VDOT looks at is are our sidewalks ADA accessible? Most of them are not wide enough. The slope, both the cross slope and the regular slope are too much.
Do they exist?
The sidewalks?
Yes. The sidewalks that you're speaking of, do they exist? Are they walkable, rollable, strollerable, bicyclable?
According to ADA,
The one, I would say the one that like going down to Dollar General and all, that one's not good.
right.
Because there are some really steep,
And like I said, the east to west patterns are more in worse shape than the north to south patterns. The sidewalks that you're talking about redoing that run Tyler down to the library, those north and south sidewalks are not in bad shape. But if you go down to the library and hang a right on Maryland Avenue and try to walk the sidewalk all the way through, you need to hold on because they're in pretty bad shape. So again, I was just lodging my view on this. I think And if we're handcuffed by policy, then we're handcuffed by state policy. But I think that this could have been turned this way and run 4 blocks through the business district and 3 blocks back east to west, and you would have had a greater impact than the north to south. Every sidewalk leads somewhere because it gets to a corner and it turns.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm grateful for the opportunity and I hope that it comes through, but you're not going to have the impact here, you know, unless it's a secondary or subsidiary subsequent impact on something else that we're working on that you would have had for the people if this was running just these lines here would have been run this way. It would have had a bigger impact.
Sure, and we can certainly look at other funding for the east to west and sidewalks in residential areas, but for this grant, they lean more towards the business districts.
What about
Well-
leading to post office and Citizens Bank?
Yeah.
That's included on here. That's
That
Carter. Yes.
But the other direction, like from Tyler to those.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, we could. I mean, it's a bit late to add that. But
So is it already done? I mean,
the pre-application was submitted.
okay, so it's all.
Just all I would ask is that we keep it in mind going forward. It's not always the gifted horse that you get. It's what you really get out of that gifted horse when you get it. And, you know, I just, those sidewalks running east and west have been all to pieces since I was a kid growing up here, because we used to ride bicycles and be able to jump portions of the sidewalk because the blocks were sticking up so far. So while I got excited that we were getting this opportunity, and everything that you gave me was great information, it was like, hurrah, we're going to get to start fixing some things that have needed fixing for a long time. I still think we're missing the boat a little bit in the way that we did this, but that's just an observation of mine. I'm not asking for any action or anything else.
So I mean, how long would the other people that have the bad sidewalks have to wait to see improvement?
The next
I mean,
project.
because the people are going to be furious.
Well, I don't know that they'll be.
Well, they will be mad if they don't have a sidewalk in front of their
Virginia,
house.
Powell, Carter, and Tyler. And I still would say that those would be some of the better sidewalks that we have in town when you look townwide. But
So
we got to start somewhere.
To answer your question, this is a $1.5 million project for just these 4 sections, for 4 sidewalks. So if council wants to find new revenue and allocate that revenue for sidewalks, we can certainly look at that. But again, 1.5 million for these 4 sections.
And what my response to that would be is the next time that we chase one of these grants and we're looking at putting this together, I think we need to take the time to, unless we're handcuffed by state policy, and if we are, we are. But if we had input in this, we needed to look at it from the opposite direction to maximize the impact of the $1.5 million. You know, it's a great idea that they're going to put this sidewalk down the railroad side over there and buy the thing, but there hadn't been a sidewalk there ever. So is that more priority to VDOT than helping fix sidewalks that people actually do walk up and down? And you know, I just think the impact would have been greater turned in a different direction. It is what it is at this point, but when we get ready to do another one of these, as I'm sure we will, because if they keep coming available, I assume that you're going to go after each of these.
Well, for the TAP grant specifically, we'd have to, again, follow the guidance that they issue. But we can look for other funding.
So you keep saying that. Did you identify these streets or did they?
I worked with VDOT to identify them.
So the next time that happens, I would like for you and anybody else involved to change your focus from north to south, to east to west, and let's see if we can get some of these traversing sidewalks that are going in between these 3 streets you're doing. Let's see if we can change that direction and get some of these non-existent sidewalks that are all to pieces maybe addressed next time. These sidewalks this way are already in decent shape.
Stanley?
Is this maintenance determined by how much traffic is being used by these sidewalks?
Yes, I believe,
a safety issue or?
I don't want to misquote, but I believe some of the scoring criteria is how many people are impacted and of course ADA accessibility, walkability, things like that.
Okay. I was looking at Carolina Avenue, west end of it. The sidewalk stops on Dade and Carolina. We got a lot of traffic in that west end that walking from Sundays, Dollar General, all the way up to at least Southside Electric. On that middle street with Carolina Avenue, there's no sidewalk on neither side of it nowhere. And if you coming down through there, if somebody is walking alongside the road, you really truly got to slow down because they're not gonna get out of the road for you. So I was just wondering if doing this project here, would the Carolina be included in it to have sidewalks put in up there? Where there's no sidewalks at all, that really is needed. You got kids and grown and adult people that's walking it every day.
Every day, all day long.
So for the next round of TAP funding, or for other grants, we can certainly look into Carolina to downtown.
No, going back the other way.
Well, if these,
Carolina to
Going to Sundays, yeah.
Sundays on the west end.
if these sidewalks are improved along, they could walk to Sundays, wouldn't have to go down Carolina. They can go down the sidewalk on,
Right, because Virginia's already there,
and,
where they can walk.
yeah, would be improved.
It kind of brings to my mind, also, why didn't they continue to carry them all the way up? They carried the ones on West Virginia Avenue all the way up.
Yeah, that is odd.
Well, these sidewalks were built in 1935, I believe, and at the time, council had required residents to pay for part of the sidewalks.
Back in 1935.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Can we, are we still talking about this, or can we move on?
I think we can move on.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to move on to a review of bills.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were there any comments? Public comments?
Oh, about the sidewalks?
Yeah,
Okay.
this was an opportunity for the public
Sorry.
to offer. I'm sorry. It was my fault. I forgot.
I
to-
think it would be beneficial if you guys actually want input from your constituents, that you give them the ability to actually give the input versus doing the application for the grant and saying, this is what we're stuck with. Because I live on East California Ave. There's no sidewalks down that way. I don't even have a paved road. So hearing that there are sidewalks where they're jutted out and then saying that, well, this is ADA, if you have a sidewalk that exists as it's broken, you want to fix those before you go and you put brand new ones in. Because I mean, you're saying that somebody can go this way and go up that way. If somebody's disabled, being able to go, they're gonna wanna go the most direct path versus having to go up and over and this way and that way. They're gonna wanna go the path that they know. So I would just encourage you, if you do have public forum, to actually listen to what your residents actually say, because I think that's a valid point, and then you have somebody that's actually bringing up another valid point. So if it's something that can't be amended, it doesn't help to say public input, but, you know, what you said was cool, but it's, you know, if we want to find money elsewhere, then we can later. So.
Thank you very much.
Just to be clear, ticking up for Phil, I know these grants come with a lot of strings. And there are, I shouldn't say strings, they come with certain requirements that sometimes don't make a lot of sense. You know, if you're gonna fix sidewalks, why are we worried about this sidewalk to the Railroad Museum when you could put a crosswalk at the end of that block and everybody could get over there? Or you park in the parking lot at the museum. Meanwhile, we've got these other streets that are, you know, either don't have sidewalks or they're in poor condition. So I don't have any doubt that Phil was working within the guidelines and the structure of the grant requirement. But if we can get into the public earlier, and I also know we're tying this in with the downtown revitalization work and all of that, so I get it. But as far as being impactful with the monies that we're able to get granted, that was my point, is the impact would have been larger in the neighborhoods with the folks that are out in the yards every evening. It would have been more of an impact. So I get it, it's a balance.
And I don't want you to feel like I'm just coming at you, but I will tell you, in my household of 3, there's 2 of us that have disabilities. And my son, which if you guys if you saw him, you would know him because he walks all around. And he goes up to Family Dollar 3 and 4 times a week. He walks, the people at the library know him almost by first name, and he walks all of these streets without sidewalks. But back to the, if we really want to hear what our residents want and think and care about, which very often I always said, I'm too busy to come here, I'm too busy to come here, I'm too busy to come here. And Ms. Payne said, tonight I saw it and I said, yes, I'm gonna go. And there was a woman that couldn't make it, and I said, I'll ask and I'll come. The thing is you guys want you want our voices, you want us to be involved. But part of having us involved is letting us tell you guys what we want and need. So I'm sorry.
Thank you so much. There's no need to be sorry for that.
Motion.
There is a resolution.
Yeah.
We need
wait
to do
until-
it later in the agenda, right? Not during the
Yeah,
public.
let's wait until later in the agenda.
We still, I thought we were on that, I'm sorry.
No,
We're
well,
in the public hearing
Okay.
part,
okay.
or whatever.
So there's nobody else to speak,
Oh, this
nobody
is a
else.
public hearing. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's what I
Yeah,
said to you.
nobody else wants to speak, so I guess we,
Public hearing.
yeah, we close the non-public hearing and move on.
The informal public hearing.
Yes, the informal.
All right.
So, review of bills. Does, no questions? My goodness, Sean. Okay, town manager's report.
Okay, very quickly, on the water issue, I've met with the engineers on the proposed location for the water line that they're putting in. We'll be hosting a public meeting for anyone interested in learning more about the project in the near future, and especially for those impacted by the easements. That date is TBD.
Can you tell us what the general plan is?
Sure. They are planning on putting in a new water line from the water treatment plant to town, and they've identified the big thing is they want to get off the railroad right of way. And they've identified it's about 40 plots that it's going to go through. And
So is it coming inside the railroad tracks on that side or on the 460 side?
it'll be on the other side.
So it'll be on the farm side of
Correct.
the.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Which
And then
would
it'll
be in-
cross over or somewhere around Custis, I believe. I've got the plan in my office if anyone wants to see it. But yeah, so it's so again, we'll have that meeting as soon as. So I need to reach out to DGS and determine if it's best, because they have the plots identified and the owners identified, and they've done all of the title searches. The next step is to draft some offers, send all of that to the Attorney General's office, and then send it to. So we want to try to time it so that the individuals impacted have received their letters, but they've got to go through all of these steps, and with the election and with General Assembly session, I'm not sure what that timeline is going to look like. But we'll have a public meeting for that. Let's see. VML Vaco Finance. We've allocated funding into sources, and you have those in your packet. Chicken Festival tickets just went on sale about 9 minutes ago. Ticket prices are $35 for early bird through the end of September, and then they jump up to $40. So get your tickets early. Go to downtowncrewe.com to get your tickets. We'll be sending out, we're finalizing the full newsletter, and we're sending that out mid-month, hopefully with the tax bills and utility bills, saving on postage. So rather than 3 different things, we'll have it all in one envelope. If there's anything you'd like included in that, let me know. And that's all I've got.
Okay.
What'd you say, the downtowncrewe.com? Is that what?
Downtowncrewe.com. Yep. And we can also help anyone in the office who doesn't feel comfortable with computers and such. We can help you get your tickets.
I
there.
resemble that remark, but we'll see.
Pass those down to them. You can take one. Okay, so I passed that out because I sent some photos to people on their texts because I didn't want to burn all my colored ink printing off photos. But we have a major trash issue in a lot of ways, and I am constantly contacted, and I'm fine with being constantly contacted, but I don't have the power to solve it. I do send it to the people that do have the power to solve it. As you can see and read through the texts, I mean, they're constant. There's the lady that spoke, she's in there. Because after I had the town hall meeting, some people could not come, so TJ had brought me the ordinance. So I put the ordinance on the Crewe page along with what he explained to me, exactly what he wanted. And she tried to do that with her bungee cords and then found them all in the driveway along with the tops to the trash cans. So what TJ had said to me, and he made sure he came the day before the town hall and explained it to me. He said, we don't want to enforce everything at one time because that's overwhelming. He said, what we need to do is focus on trash cans with lids, and if they don't have the little stall places, then a bungee cord, which is fine. But most of the town, as you can see, doesn't have lids. They just have trash cans, and they're thrown in the street. And then it happened to me last week. My husband and I have 3 of the good trash cans where the tops are attached, and they flip over. And for years, the guys walked over, took the bags out of the trash can, threw them in the back of the truck. Now they pick up the trash can and beat it against the back of the truck, and they broke all of our lids. So now it's even personal with me. So I think that we need to really look into enforcing it. Why do we have an ordinance if we're not going to enforce it? There's no point in having the ordinance. And I don't exactly know what town council wants to do, because all of the people that don't have lids, I mean, they can't really put lids on their cans if they do not have them. So if town council has any ideas, I would greatly appreciate it, and I'm sure the town would.
My 2 cents?
Yes, sir, Councilman Davis.
I always have an extra 2 cents.
Yeah, I'll take 4 cents if you got it.
How do I want to say this? We have lots of different kinds of people that live in the town. We have lots of different socioeconomic strata in our town. We have a lot of rental properties in our town. We have a lot of people that you could write all of the code section that you want to write, and they would pay about as much attention to it as they do the junk mail that comes through the front door. A lot of the pictures that I've been privy to appear to me to be in rental houses where the landlords that's who we would look at as responsible for the way that they handle their property and keeping their property clean. And that's apparently not happening. You know, I'm still kind of coming full circle. We discussed standardizing this whole thing, putting the big trash cans there, having the set pickup days, having it picked up in front of the house, heavy duty trash cans with lids. They're not cheap. They're also not free. But then you don't have different people of different walks of life being held to a standard of a group of people who may not have ever walked those shoes. And I get it. Everybody's going to say anybody can pick up trash, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I live in the real world. And the real world is people who complain in my neighborhood are not the same people that are going to complain in other neighborhoods. And, you know, I just think that if we standardize it, we look at going back to the large trash cans on wheels that are picked up 2 days a week. And if you can fill a 96-gallon trash can between Thursday and Monday, you're doing something wrong. And if you need extra help, you let the town know. I know that TJ and them would be more than happy to help you as long as you're doing the right thing on your end. I just don't know how you can consistently tell people they have to have this or that or the other. If we enforced every code that we have, every ordinance that we have to the letter, we'd have a lot of really unhappy people in this town. So we try to use common sense, I think. And the common sense thing says, well, you know what? It's two sides to this. We could do a little bit more about, I mean, I think it's kind of silly. I'll just be honest. And I told Phil this earlier. I told Brenda this earlier. If you go to the trash cans to pick up the trash and there is a bag of trash sitting on top of the trash can, take the trash. You don't leave the trash cans full. You don't empty the trash cans and then stick the one bag that's sitting there into the trash can. There's got to be a little bit of common sense used here. By that same token, if your trash cans are broke all to pieces and don't have tops on them and they're getting knocked over and you're not picking up the trash in the alley, it is absolutely not our guys' responsibility to clean up your mess. So if you don't clean it up and code enforcement comes through there and somebody looks at it and goes, hey, we got to do something about this, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're treating you badly versus someone that's in another area of town. It means you've got a mess in your yard. Pick it up. So I don't know how we, with the number of houses and the number of people that we have living in the town, we don't have code enforcement as a position. We don't have someone whose full-time job it is to go around and make sure that your Ruffles bag is in your trash can and not in your neighbor's yard. I think the only way to overcome this is to standardize the whole thing. And then if they don't fall into compliance, the landlords on the rental property are responsible. Mm-hmm. The trash can needs to be tied to them. They're the property owners. Those of us that are homeowners, we've always had it tied to us at your can. Hey, buddy, your trash is in my yard. How about picking it up? I just think that there's too much pressure on Phil and TJ and Matt and them to try to pick and choose who needs to have code enforced, what's enough to be enforced, why is this trash can's different than that trash can, and then the he said, she said about who's doing what. I don't know. I've lived here my whole life, and I can't ever imagine anybody working on the town crew that would just go through and take your trash can and throw it in the middle of the alley and leave it, you know, to get broke up. I don't necessarily see that happening. So my recommendation would be let's circle back around, whether it's now or when we come into the next budget year, and let's bring that back to the table. You have the numbers, I assume, Phil?
About 86,000.
You were in favor at the time from an administrative standpoint?
Correct. We didn't do that because the results from VML of VACO Finance for water and sewer came back, and we wanted to focus more on the water sewer and not overly burden people with an additional $2 increase.
Well, the way I look at it is this: be careful what you ask for. It's just that simple. We can't solve that problem, for 2,200 people. That's not what we can do other than standardizing what our guys do, when they do it, and how they do it. And if there are problems going on with our guys, Phil, you need to have a chat with TJ and Matt and make sure that anybody who hasn't been here for very long understands it reflects the way it reflects. And I know, as good as I'm sitting here, that neither one of those two guys is going to appreciate people saying it's their fault that stuff's getting tore up. So I think it's something that, Phil, you can handle, but I do think we need to come back and look at standardizing the containers, the pickups, and then if they don't comply with that after we do that, then, you know, it's all fair game.
And I did meet with staff today to go over our garbage ordinance and policy. Ooh, it's Monday. So basically, and I'll let that go around so council. I just threw in some quick points in here for everyone, just as reminders. The ordinance, our ordinance says, and you know, ordinance is up to council. So if council wants to change any ordinance, that's just let me know, and we'll figure out the wording. But all garbage must be placed in fly-tight covered container of not more than 35-gallon capacity. All containers for garbage shall be placed at the alley where the same will be easily accessible to the town collectors. Up to 3 cans per single-family residence will be allowed. All containers for garbage must be racked, chained, or staked to prevent being overturned. If an alley does not exist behind the residence or the existing alley is inaccessible or unused, then containers must be placed at the street and from the residence on pickup days. The town collectors will not be allowed to enter buildings or property for removal of garbage. No liquid will be placed in any container for garbage or ashes. Containers for garbage or ashes shall be kept covered except when being filled or emptied, and any container weighing in excess of 50 pounds will not be collected. Interesting thing that I was always under the impression that bags were required. Bags are actually not required. It's a mistake on the website because when I did the website, I used a brochure that we hand out, and it says in there that bags were required. But bags are not required, though we do strongly encourage you use bags. And if council wants to require bags, that would be up to them. It just makes things a little bit easier, and then staff can just pick up the bag rather than having to pick up the entire can. Staff have discretion on collecting trash not in compliance. Of course, there's a give and take with that. If we were too strictly enforcing every trash ordinance, little trash would ever be collected. For an example, we did a quick survey of Indian Oak Road, had about 50 cans, about 10 of which were in full compliance. So, you know, having
Yeah, those are the photos.
80% of the cans not picked up is not going to necessarily solve anything. Last year, we began enforcing the corral ordinance more strictly. Of course, the town office was inundated with complaints for a while. That's when we, some of you may remember, we didn't pick up when individuals didn't have the corrals. So if we desire stricter enforcement, staff recommend a staggered approach, emphasizing one ordinance element at a time and building from there, like Councilman Davis had mentioned. If a trash can has a lid at the time of pickup, staff know to replace it. If there's no lid on the can at the time of pickup, staff will not put a lid on the can. So if you notice that there's any deviation from that, let the town office know. And also let the town office know if anyone has any other comments or concerns.
Okay.
Specifically.
I would like to speak to this entire page, actually. First of all, almost the same thing was put on the Town of Crewe page by me. Almost the same thing was passed out in everybody's packet a few moments ago, word for word almost. But TJ is in charge of it. And TJ came to my house, and TJ told me what needed to be enforced. And TJ said that we needed to have 3 cans, no more. If it was more bags, they were going to be on top of the cans, and they were going to take the bags first, 2 to 3 per can. If there were 6 bags sitting on top of the trash cans, they were going to be, it would be 3 bags, 1 can, 3 bags, another, and then they would only take 1 more can and leave the other 2 cans full. He said that we needed to just take it in a small chunk, a bite, a shark, whatever, however you want to call it, a small amount where we had 3 cans and we had tops, or tops were provided, or they got more trash cans with tops or whatever. And if they didn't have a corral, they put a bungee cord across it. I'm not okay with us waiting until the next budget year to talk about trash cans again.
We don't have $86,000.
Why do we need that? Why do we need that? That's all we need is for the Town of Crewe residents to have trash cans with tops, go get $1 or $2 worth of bungee cords, put it across them so that the animals can't get into them, and have our trash people put the top and the bungee cord back on the can. It's as simple as that. Yes, Councilman Payne?
I'd like to add to this a little bit too. We are charged 2 trash bills, which means technically we get 6 trash cans. I have 4 behind the fellowship hall on the alley. When I first came here, we had to call town hall and explain to them, oh, they'll pick it up. For years they picked it up.
Can you use your microphone?
They can hear me,
Okay,
I promise, they can hear me.
all right.
You have to hear on the
They can hear
live
that.
stream.
Yeah, yeah, please. Is it dead? Thank you, Councilman Wade.
While he's getting that together, let me just say this.
Yeah,
I had lids, and with everything that was going on Rock Castle, I had cameras up. We've got a bear that I've literally seen lift the lid off my trash can and pull the trash bag out of it. So I just want to add that we got some other bigger predators. Dogs and paws don't lift trash bags.
no,
And mine
test.
You?
containers, so I just
okay.
wanna say that.
Thank you, Councilman Wade. Councilman Payne, are you straight yet?
I am.
Okay,
I think that one's dead. That one's actually hers. I don't really care. Okay.
okay.
I'll go back to what I was saying. I'm sorry I was so rude without a microphone. When we first came here, we charge 2 trash bills, 2 water bills. So technically, we can type to 6 trash cans, which is fine. I have 4. Called town office, they started dumping it. In the last 6 months, they will not dump the 4th trash can. And every now and then, we do fill it up 4 because we're a church and we do have events, and we therefore use 4 trash cans. The other day when I came home, talking about lids, ours have lids that are hinged on the back. Somebody had taken them and had been beating them against the side of the trash truck, trying to get the trash out of it, and they weren't packed tight, and broke the lids off of them. The lids were laying in half in the alley. The trash can, one was in the alley and the other was in my backyard almost in the wind. The third one was turned upside down in the corral, and the 4th one was not touched. This has happened more than once. So it's not just the town people, it's what we're doing with the people who are emptying the trash as well. They have a hard job, I wouldn't want to do it. I'm honest, I would not want to do it. But you get paid to do it. I don't always like the things I have to do, but I just have to do it. But technically, that was probably about $160 worth of trash cans that got destroyed. So I got to go out and buy new trash cans because the town wants me to have lids on my trash cans that lid and seal. I don't need bungee cords because they lock, and they're in a corral. If they're in the corral, they won't pull them out of the corral. So I don't know which the answer to this is, but I just like to find the answer out so I can do the right thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mine's in a corral, but the bear, I haven't seen him in a while. No, I caught it on camera.
Oh, goodness. So are there, so it,
He ain't visited in a while, though.
so are there any more comments? No one else has any problem or any thoughts on trash?
Well, I got
I know Councilman Stith has a problem.
I think I can talk louder now. Well, I have a problem with squeezing this trash can in front of my house with all the juice and
All the stuff runs out of the trash truck right there in front of my house. And the flies and the squirrels and everything be out there preying off this juice that's coming out of the back of this truck. I appreciate it be squeezed in the alley. And I won't have that problem. I mean, flies, they come from every which way. Yeah, squeeze it by the Sunday school down, that's what you got to do. But it ain't no big issue, but, I mean, some of them somebody threw a can of paint in the back of it. Might have hit it. And the paint spots, the way they squeeze it in the rain right out the truck, right down in the front of my house. I'm trying to ignore it. Don't want to be mousy when I come in here. But if they squeeze it in the alley, then that'll take care of all of it with the paint in it.
Right, and we're, residents aren't supposed to put paint cans with paint.
True.
Oh, in fact, we don't even pick those up during our annual cleanup.
Yeah.
Because of that issue, and two, there's environmental regulations with
And
the,
that's why they get hidden in the bag with the other
right,
garbage.
Right, exactly.
Because if they would have seen it, I think they would have took it out of it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sitting here, I'm just waiting. Are
Well,
are
we're not
just-
going to solve this problem tonight. My suggestion would be that the town manager meet with with TJ and Matt, and perhaps they meet with their employees. And I know that sometimes the lids don't get put back on securely and then they blow away, and we as a town have got to do a better job, probably. And I don't have a problem with going with the standard units. People are going to have to pay for them. And I'm not so naive to believe if we spend all that money that the trash problem will miraculously go away.
So if I can ask, what is, if someone can state the problem in a sentence or two?
I'll be glad to. I gave you all those emails, but
Well, which is
I'll be
why
glad
I
to.
just need it all distilled, and so I know what.
Most-
Because there's,
Okay. Most of the cans do not have tops.
okay,
There is one on West Carolina that has a corral, has 3 cans in it, and they stack their bags taller than I am out by their driveway. So that's an example. So no tops. I'm assuming it's the trash people that are dumping the trash and just toss the cans down. They're found in driveways, yards,
we can start with the first one.
okay?
So cans not having tops and trash stacked up. Is it the will of council that you do not want those picked up if they don't have tops?
No, because then I'm gonna have to take my trash.
Yeah, there has to be a way to either have them get new cans with tops or something.
Well, with all due respect, Madam Mayor, what is your suggestion? Are you going to go door to door and say you got to get some cans, or are you?
No, but you do send out a trash bill and a water bill. And you can add a letter in it, kind of like we did with grass.
How about notices like, well, when people are delinquent in paying their water, they get a notice on their door. But that's a lot of notices probably and very
I
time
also-
consuming.
I also want to circle back around to the fact that we have a large rental property thing here,
That's right.
and that you can send that letter down into my neighborhood, and I'm going to have to comply because I don't have a rack around mine. But I do know how to pick my trash up when it's somehow
Yeah.
not in the trash.
Yeah.
But you have a large amount of people that live here that it's not their property. And I'm looking at these pictures you got here, and of course, they don't give me a good reference.
That's only a few, trust me.
You sent me the other 25 today.
Yeah.
But each of
That's
those
25,
appear
but
to be
okay.
either in a neighborhood without an alley so that the trash cans are
Yeah.
by the street, or Well, I guess that's the end of it. Some of them appear to be on Indian Oak Road.
A
Some
lot
other
of them
places.
are on Indian Oak.
Well, so there again, the trash has got to be brought to the road. I don't know how you can dictate conformity. I don't even know if the code gives a remedy. Does this code section we're talking about, this ordinance, is there a penalty? Is there?
So if, in theory, if council wanted to more strictly enforce the ordinance, the trash wouldn't be picked up. And if the trash isn't picked up, the town has the ability to fine individuals for having trash in their yard that's not picked up.
Where's that at?
That's
It's
in the-
nowhere.
in code section.
It's not on the paper.
But it's
Yeah,
not
I
in the
didn't include that on
ordinance.
the paper. I just wanted to include, just
So again, my question comes around to people's grass needs cutting. People got cars in the yard that need moving. People got privacy fences that are falling down. People got sheds that are falling down. People got all these things that we want to enforce and beautify our town. Who's going to do that? Because the trash guys don't have the authority. The management of our streets don't have the authority. I don't even know that Phil, our town manager, has the authority.
Well, let me
If it's
ask.
a code section in an ordinance, then law enforcement needs to be the one to enforce it.
So let me ask you a question with all due respect.
Code,
Yes.
and what Brenda handed out, the
Who
third page.
who went around and looked at all the grass and sent 100 and some letters? Why can't the same be done for trash?
we can certainly do that. So is it the will of council that you still want it, you still want trash that's out of compliance picked up, but you want us to also go around and identify and then issue notices to individuals? And sort of an FYI, you need to be doing this, or else we won't pick it up next time? Is that?
I think that
Tell me what,
sounds,
Councilwoman
that
Sal.
sounds better. That sounds better than just stacking on a lot of fines.
This says it's thanks for pointing that out.
It,
Your enforcement is fines.
yeah, it's fines on here. That sounds better because
brought
I
me that.
think that some people might not be quite aware of the seriousness of the issue. Just like Sean said, we live in a diverse community with homeowners, renters, some could be a homeowner and still not really care. So it's depending upon the people, and we don't have a a homeowners association here.
Yeah.
We don't. So I think you're going to consider about the personalities you're dealing with, habits. I've got people around me that are renters and homeowners that live very differently than me, and I try to get along. And does their property look like I want it to? Probably not, but my property doesn't look like probably the next person doesn't. So I think we should do it in the least aggressive way. So a notice would be a great conversation starter. And if we're targeting or wanting to put the responsibility on the homeowners and when they rent, then they ought to be part of the discussion, because the owners of the rental property aren't going to be fined. It's the people who live there. And I would say that some of these people won't have the means to pay it.
I have to look into that last aspect of who's responsible.
I would think if you rented something, I don't know.
You were responsible, or you'd be in violation of your lease or
Take the water
something.
bill.
Okay,
Does
so when grass is out of control and the guys have to go get it, the property owner is the one that goes to.
Okay.
It goes against their tax bill, which then rolls around that year.
And then he enforces.
And I would like to see this tied to the property ownership also, because I think that if you have someone living in your property who cannot at least live up to the minimum standards, again, that's why I like the idea of a standardized trash can at every residence, so everybody has equal opportunity, because a lot of these people in here are not going to go buy that $100 trash can that's basically indestructible with a lockable top and all of that. You start with a standard, you issue the ruling of the ordinance, you remind everybody of it as you deliver this new trash can of what their responsibility is to do, and then if they fail, you go back after it.
But that's a year away, so we got to
But
do something before then.
Until then, I
We
think
do.
there should be a
I think
reminder.
we got bigger fish, is
A
what I think.
reminder of the ordinance, and then fines, if it's that concerning to the whole community as a whole, then yeah, then that's the way it should be done. If you're trying to find a quick solution, I would say that. And then later, yeah, standardized
So
trash cans.
what we can do is include a reminder with that I mentioned before that we'll be sending out the tax bills, the utility bills, and the newsletter all in one envelope. We can include another sheet in there with a reminder of so that way everyone gets it and there's no excuses. We could also include a section in the newsletter that emphasizes that and make sure that everyone has the notification. Now, the second part of that question is for those not in compliance, does council still want us to exercise that discretion on picking up, or do we want to just not
It's no
pick up things
sense,
that are out of compliance?
well, I think the fine should be first. No, I don't want the trash piling up.
No, nobody wants trash
I don't
piled
want it
up.
piling up around Crewe at all. That's gonna look horrible. Because some people, they're gonna say, okay, fine. If you're not gonna fine them, there has to be a consequence, I think.
But there is a fine in that
That's what
paper
he's
that
saying.
TJ brought me.
He said, do you want to not pick up the trash in lieu of fining, correct? Is that what you meant?
Again, I need to look at the code section, but I believe the process is we would not pick up the trash, and then they would get fined for having trash in their yard that wasn't picked up, and it wasn't picked up because it's out of compliance. So one leads to the other.
Okay.
Quick question. So are you saying that if it's in a corral, nice and neatly in a trash can that they can get, you will not pick it up if it doesn't have a lid on it? Is this where we're going here?
That is my question to council. How strictly do you want, because the first one on the mayor's thing here is the town going to enforce the trash and trash can issues?
Yeah.
So how strictly
That's the
do you
first
want
thing.
these issues enforced?
My suggestion would be, probably, not everybody will get a trash can there tonight, tomorrow, the next day. It's not gonna happen. Let's be realistic about it. I think you need to limit the trash to what's in the trash can, and it gets dumped. Now, if it's piled on top of the trash can, I don't know what to tell you, because somebody's gonna have to pick it up, because if not, you're gonna have rats, mice, and wild things all over the place. Right? So I think if the people picking up our trash see that trash piled up, they need to come back and report it to whoever they report it to. So at that particular point in time, you send a letter to them, say you cannot overflow your trash. They have to stay inside the contents of the trash can. If not, you're in violation. We won't push the lid issue because nobody's got them. You can't go out and buy just a lid anymore. I think Lowe's sells them separate, but who knows for what. So, I mean, that's a fix immediately now to limit people how much trash they put out there. It keeps the trash people being overworked by picking up 10 bags of trash.
One second.
So that's my suggestion.
Councilman Davis?
Is this the complete ordinance?
Well, that's what TJ brought me. He brought me that, but I took a photo of it.
Bill, are you feeling like these two paragraphs, these two
Can I see that? I'm not.
because if it is, you've got more problems than what you want to talk about. You got no enforcement of jack in that ordinance.
It's getting very convoluted.
You have two paragraphs that are unrelated to what each other talk about.
There's a couple of sections before this.
Let me see if I can make it clear
Speak
so
to
you can see it.
enforcement.
That would have
If we
been
need to have a special day for trash.
as that printout sits, the top paragraph and the second paragraph are missing a joiner there.
Well,
The
that's what
top
he,
paragraph says you have to have your stuff in a can, but it does not say anywhere in there that should you fail to do so, the penalties in section 2 apply. And nothing in section 2 says anything about additional fees being done unless the trash truck has to make a subsequent run to come back. So before we get all excited about enforcing code, let's make sure the code says what it is that we want it to say.
Well,
And if that's the entirety of the code, none of you got a leg to stand on.
Okay, so just for everyone's edification,
This is just common sense. I don't know why this has turned into an hour and a half discussion. Matt, you got any problem picking up the trash truck?
No, not really, but, I mean, honestly, with me, I'm Director of Public Works.
Yeah.
To me, the easiest, to me, it's only two situations you can do here. Either you can go to the big cans, and I feel like that'll eliminate a lot of it, or either you can send a letter out and say you got 2 months to comply with this, and if they don't comply with it in those 2 months, buy the cans, put everything. Because if you're gonna enforce this to a T, you're gonna pick up about, how many customers you said we had, Sean?
100 houses.
1,100 houses, you probably pick up 900 of, I mean, you probably wouldn't pick up but 200 of them. If you follow it to a T. I rode today, and there's a lot of trash everywhere.
So let me ask you, as the Director of Public Works, the guy that Phil is going to look at and say, fix this problem, what's the fix to the problem?
Me personally, I think the big trash cans fix it.
Okay.
That eliminates how many trash cans you have to dump, because you ain't gonna have but one. So it eliminates that. Brenda was talking about it takes us between 4 and 6 hours to run a trash route right now. If you put 3 cans out there and run a bungee cord across all 3 cans, it'll take us 8 to 8.5 hours to run a garbage route if you do that at every single house.
And
I
then you
mean,
gotta make sure that you put everything down.
yeah, so if you put everything, I mean, you're talking about a full day of picking up garbage with 3 guys.
Do you have any suggestion for what would improve things in the short term?
So, short term, my suggestion is, and just see if they'll do it, is send out a letter and say you got 2 months to comply, or we're gonna start finding you. But my problem with that is, if you're going to buy these cans in next budget year, it's hard to get them to buy these cans to comply, and then you're gonna change it to these cans in 8 months. So that's the only problem I have with if you're gonna do that.
Thank you.
So,
thank you, Matt. And Matt and his team are, I don't know if everyone realizes how hard they work and in terrible conditions. So,
yeah, and I'm not gonna stand in front of all y'all and tell you all garbage cans put every top back on. I'm not gonna tell you that, because I'm not out there with them, so I don't know. But if I go to them and I ask them, do you put that top back on, and they tell me yeah, then I'm gonna take their word for it, because, I mean, I work with them every day, so.
You're supposed to take their word.
And as far as Stanley, as far as your complaint, there's a lot of people that complain about running that trash up in front of their house, but you gotta run it up somewhere. I mean, we can put.
Squeezing the garbage.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but it's a plug in the bottom of that truck that lets the juice run out. That way it doesn't run into the truck. That's what it is. That's what it is.
I never thought about that until tonight.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to think about it.
So, but I mean, that's my 2 biggest suggestions. Like I said, I think the big cans will help, and if you don't want to go the big can route, send out a letter, give them 2 months to comply, and if they don't comply, start finding them. I mean, that's.
So let me offer this suggestion to council, this idea, and so we'll start with the that letter that I said we'll include with the that envelope everyone's getting.
Thank you, Matt.
And thanks, Matt. What I can do is start to look into the large trash cans for the beginning of the calendar year. So we don't have to necessarily wait until July. That may involve, what I can do is look at any ARPA funding that can be reallocated to help offset the cost. And also, then we can also look at going up on, it would be, if there's no ARPA funding available, it would be about $2 on the bill
For the bigger cans.
and then everyone would get a big can, and we'd have to refigure routes and everything else. But that's something that could be done, like we've discussed before. Is council okay with that plan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah, I think that's.
disagreed with that, especially the cost.
I'm with you on all of it. So in the more immediate sense, when we come across one like that, that's clearly out of compliance? Are we gonna have the guys clean it so it's not sitting on the street, make note of it and bring it back to you? Are we going to leave it sitting on the street to get turned over, knocked over without tops on it? My preference would be for David Terry to make a note that on, 11,000 West whatever Avenue, we have a house with 7 trash cans in front of it with no lids on it. And then TJ or you slide back by there, drop a letter off and say, hey, we picked it up, but we're not gonna do it again. We don't want the town to go to crap while we're working through this process. But nothing can get done in a single meeting.
No.
And so I think that everybody has made it known that they want this to be a priority. Just be prepared, priorities cost money.
Okay, so of the 2 parts, I'll add a third part in the middle there. The most egregious ones we'll make note of and send a letter to.
Thank you.
And I think that becomes a common sense thing. I just really do. I think we've spent an inordinate amount of time in here talking about something that should be just common sense. Pick the trash up. Hey guys, everybody that's in town that's listening, pick the trash up. What we send the big white truck through twice a week to do, pick the trash up.
Thank you.
Okay. Huh? Town attorney's report?
I don't have anything specific. Happy to answer any questions y'all might have, and we'll be discussing some things in closed session as well.
Okay.
Like a review of the town ordinance in full.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to committee reports. Finance Committee, Councilman Davis.
Nothing to report other than Phil is going to be talking with you guys, I guess, in a few minutes. Are we just gonna be discussing it a little bit more? We discussed the last time that I was here, some investment opportunities, some things we were missing out on. I think we figured out we got like 0.5% return on the cash holdings that the town has, and that ultimately we can probably see that increase to about $250,000 to $300,000 a year if it's invested with VML. So what you see in your thing here, am I ruining your thunder?
No, but we did discuss most of this at the last meeting.
Well, then he's done it. 'Cause I
Yes,
consider
yeah,
it.
he did.
So that's all
Okay. So Personnel Committee, Vice Mayor?
No, I don't have
do
anything.
we need to do the resolution?
Not right now, do we?
We haven't got to that yet.
It's just in order right behind it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Do you want to do it? The resolution for the VDOT thing, for the TAP grant?
If council wants to go ahead and, we can do that now, or we can wait until new business.
Let's just roll through here real quick. Community Development Committee, I don't have anything. Infrastructure Committee, Councilman Stith,
Yes, ma'am.
which
Right
got,
up under our nose, this alley right here, was brought to my attention. Part of the driveway in the alley is washing away. Ruts in it. Trash look like the biscuit trash can and it laying around beside the trash cans. After it was brought to my attention, I rode up the alley, and it's really truly need the attention of this alley behind here.
And there's more to this alley. There's a where water flows under the ground and into the. I can't remember the name for it. I'm sorry. Stormwater. Something like that, right? But it goes from the road. So I need to talk to VDOT because it's collapsed and you can see it's marked
Yeah.
off over there. So there may be more to back here and flooding and such, and would involve all that. It's
And I think the
be a larger
grass-
project.
The grass that's growing in the middle of the alley is probably keeping the whole alley from washing away. I mean, when you in a field or something, you're playing grass, the grass won't wash the soil away. And I think if you cut the grass, it's gonna make it worse. So the grass needs to stay there to keep the alley from being washed. I mean,
dear God.
it is what it is.
Erosion and such.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I had to add to that was already covered, so
Okay.
the
Cool,
airport road, y'all got a different name for it, that's what I've always called it. But
cool. All right, Economic Development Committee. Oh, were you done, Councilman Stith?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sorry. Economic Development Committee,
Nothing from the county EDC.
Planning Commission,
The planning commission will be meeting in the next week or so. Is it?
the 17th, you said.
That sounds right, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Water Committee, Councilman Davis, who's not in here, okay. All right, new business, investment ratification.
Okay. Before we do that, if we can move back to the
resolution.
approving the VDOT TAP sidewalk plan and authorizing the application. That's on page 18 of your packet.
Okay.
And let me just, whereas the town seeks to apply for approximately $1.5 million in VDOT transportation funding for sidewalk replacements, fiscal year 27 to 28, with 20% local match. It's conducted required public engagement on the proposed project. Now therefore be it resolved, the Town Council of the Town of Crewe, that the VDOT TAP sidewalk plan prioritizing improvements along Tyler, Carter, Powell, and 460 is hereby approved. Be it further resolved that the town manager is authorized to submit all required TAP application materials and execute documents related to this application. And be it further resolved that the inclusion of this project in planning documents does not constitute an appropriation. Funding and implementation remain subject to future budget adoption, appropriation, and all required approvals.
Okay. So we need a motion.
I move that we adopt the resolution.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Motion carries. Resolution passes. Whatever. Do you need me to sign it?
I don't have it.
You don't have it. Okay.
We'll have some copies for you in the office.
Okay. All righty. Let's see. We'll go back to new business, investment ratification.
So 11A, as we discussed at the last meeting, we've gone ahead and started to invest town funds per the consultant's recommendation. Town ordinance does name the town manager as the town treasurer with all the powers and responsibilities. Though our auditor did recommend, or our auditor mentioned a council resolution for opening and closing accounts, which we'll be doing a lot of opening and closing. This may not be required, but I just want to ensure airtight paper trail as we move millions of dollars around. We think it's a good practice to ratify these actions through a resolution. And that resolution, well, that second page there is all the actions that we'll be taking, the accounts that we'll be closing, how we'll be transferring things, accounts that stay open, and how we'll be tracking funds that are committed and assigned and such through our ledger. So the resolution ratifying the town manager's actions on accounts and investments in his role as treasurer. Whereas the town manager serves as the town's treasurer, vested with the powers and duties of that office under Town Code 2-183. Now therefore be resolved by the Town Council and the Town of Crewe that the Town Council hereby ratifies and approves the treasurer's actions as listed in the attached schedule, including movements, transfers of town funds from town accounts, closure of bank accounts, and opening of certificates of deposit and other permitted investments, all undertaken in the course of official duties. Be it further resolved that the treasurer is authorized to continue to carry out such actions consistent with town policies and applicable law to prudently manage town funds.
Okay, can I get a motion?
I move that we approve the resolution.
May I get a second?
A second?
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution passes. I keep saying that.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Item 11B, General Assembly legislation. This one's, we've discussed this previously. The General Assembly is going to be meeting in January, as they do every year. In November, voters are going to be electing a new governor, as they do every 4 years. And as previously discussed, and as discussed with state legislators at our annual dinner with them earlier this year, probable action by the General Assembly can inadvertently impact the Town of Crewe. They're considering an amendment to the state constitution that would grant automatic restoration of rights to felons once their sentence is complete. So currently, they have to go through another process and apply, and then they'd be granted that. If the governor's office grants them, they'd be granted their rights to vote back. This proposed constitutional amendment would automatically grant that. The proposed language allows for an exception. No person who has been adjudicated to be mentally incompetent by a court of competent jurisdiction to lack the capacity to understand the act of voting shall be qualified entitled. So basically, if you don't understand the act of voting because of mental incapacity, then that's the one exception that you wouldn't automatically be granted restoration of rights. We do have a facility in town limits that is full of individuals who have completed their sentence, and it's a mental health facility, but they are not necessarily, they still understand the act of voting, and that's VCBR. So again, they've completed sentences. Most have the capacity to understand the act of voting. Therefore, the way I read it, VCBR residents would be given that right to vote, serve on jury, and hold office while receiving treatment at that facility. A simple solution to this concern would be to ask Delegate Ware, Senator Mulcahy, through them, ask the General Assembly to amend Section 24.2-314 of the Code of Virginia to include residents of secure civil commitment facilities like VCBR. So basically what that code section does is it identifies, it takes the individuals who are in prisons and in jails and such, and for the purpose of redistricting, it says those individuals are residents of wherever their last known address was. I think if they add VCBR residents, that essentially solves this problem without anyone having to wade into the overall discussion of the constitutional amendment, which is a hotly debated political issue. So, are there any questions about that? Because I know I went through a lot.
No, it makes sense that they would be voters in the place where they were a resident.
Right. And I'm thinking if they can word it in such a way that they're not only voters but they are considered residents of wherever they were, then that might also help the county's issues with having to pay for all the VCBR residents at the Piedmont Regional Jail. That costs hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and they're trying to work with the General Assembly on that. That would basically spread out the costs throughout all the localities from where these individuals came from. So basically, the next steps here, I don't really need any official action. I'd just like some consent from council. We've already mentioned this to the state legislators a couple of months ago, but we'll want to remind them. I also plan to attempt to set up a brief meeting with the governor-elect once she is elected to discuss both the water project and this issue, and involving, of course, both our town attorney and lobbyist. And while it's late for any formal VML position, I can see what options may exist for VML support as well with this. I think it's a common sense, helps solve the issue. It solves our issue without wading into the political discussion.
Okay.
Any thoughts, comments, concerns? I will take silence as consent.
Okay, next is CIP.
Perfect. Having CIP, Capital Improvement Plan, is considered good practice in local government. We've had limited CIPs in the past, and we've worked to create a more robust plan to include all the capital expenses we anticipate over the next decade. While the plan is based on life expectancy of items, our staff do a very good job of maintaining vehicles and equipment, extending the life of items by several years. We use stuff until we can no longer use it. In the past, we've taken out debt for new capital items. Last year, we used ARPA funds to begin to get ahead of debt How we handle each item will depend on the amount of debt we have, as well as the loan rates versus investment rates in the future, once we have to start to replace some of these. And one idea is to consider annual interest revenue we will begin to receive from our investments as partial funding for the CIP. So that $200,000 that we anticipate getting each year from the investments, setting that aside, allowing that to build, but also using some of that for capital projects. Yes.
Just out of curiosity, each year we'll be reviewing this, your staff and along with
Yes.
council will be reviewing it. So let's say I noticed that like we have police cars scheduled 1 a year or 2 a year for like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Will the opportunity be there for chief to walk in and go, well, you know what, my cars are in decent shape right now. We don't necessarily need to buy brand new cars just to have brand new cars.
Correct.
We can adjust this and go, okay, we're not gonna spend that $64,000 there. We're gonna buy a new pickup truck for the shop or one of these other items that we need. So
Right.
we'll have the opportunity to do that each.
Yes, so the plan is just a plan. It's not written in stone, and it also doesn't appropriate any of the funding required for this.
Gotcha.
It's there just to give us all an idea of the items that we have, the total amount over the course of 10 years. That if things are based on their life expectancy, what we need to spend, and how we can. So yes, is the answer to the question. So it's flexible.
Pretty good.
Okay. So,
there's a resolution there.
okay,
I was in a resolution mood.
I see.
Whereas council has
Yeah.
reviewed the proposed CIP for fiscal years 26 through 36, and whereas the CIP is intended as a planning document to guide long-term capital priorities and scheduling, now therefore be it resolved, Town Council, that the fiscal year 26 to 36 CIP as presented and amended is hereby approved. Be resolved further that inclusion of any project does not constitute funding appropriation or authorization to proceed. All projects remain subject to 1, availability of funds, 2, annual budget option and appropriation by council, 3, applicable procurements and contracting requirements, and 4, any required state, federal, or regulatory approvals. Be it further resolved, council may amend the CIP from time to time to reflect updated priorities, funding opportunities, and project scopes.
Okay, can I get a motion on that, please?
I move that we approve the resolution.
A second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, resolution passes.
The resolution for the CIP? Yes, because that's part of the VDOT TAP grant.
Gotcha.
He was,
I'm with
he was in a resolution mood. Okay. Unfinished business, we don't have any up.
Was I under new business?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
Oh, yes, you're
Vice
under.
Mayor is item 11D,
and we'll go.
as in dog.
I was awake while you were outside,
So Vice Mayor Stinson has new business.
I'll just take a minute. As you know, the Crewe Cares is sponsoring the community garden on the property behind the library, and they have a lease with the town on that property. The idea has come about, down the road, we're hoping to make it a park setting. The idea has come about since it's out there in the open with no shade, perhaps some sort of structure. My question tonight is, we've been researching structures, and basically what we're looking at, I can pass this picture around, you can buy these gazebo kits at Sam's or Costco or different places. And the question is, according to the lease, if the community garden goes away, the property is supposed to be left like it was, so they would take away the beds and all of that. If we were to put a permanent structure out there, would it be all right with council if that stayed? Because we're also thinking of it as being an asset for the library programs, for outside activities. So that's my question.
Okay.
Is this one a permanent structure?
Well, it would be once it was
Cemented or whatever.
Yeah, you'd have to.
Yeah.
It would be permanent once.
But they could theoretically undo the footings and.
They could, I guess.
Do we need any kind of anything on that? Do we need a motion? Do
Mike
we?
told me he would just feel more comfortable if council gave some kind of, I mean, we don't want to put that up.
Right,
And then down the road,
have to,
say
a
that
problem.
it was in the lease. I have asked the Friends of the Library to at least partially finance it, so it would, part of the, it's not just for the garden, it's for,
I can't tell. What's the number on it? You got a picture of it. Did it have a price tag on it?
it's $800 for the, and we're not asking council to pay any money.
No. So do we need a motion of some sort?
Does that require a lease amendment?
You could put it in the lease. What I would suggest is if the Friends of the, right, I mean, if the Friends of the Library and the
Crew cares.
Crew Cares are basically donating this to not only the library but to the town, then let's just couch it as a gift of personal property.
Okay.
Which
Okay.
they will install with the town's permission. So I would suggest you have a motion to accept the gift of personal property and allow for the installation on.
Just don't expect a gift anytime real soon.
That was gonna be my question. Are you ready for that resolution tonight, or was this,
Well, we didn't want to move forward
Okay.
and dedicate funds to it, and
so do you want to come back, or do you want the resolution? Or you
I think the resolution tonight would help us in moving
A
forward.
resolution or a motion?
A motion, whatever.
Okay, yeah.
A
Or we'd
motion.
have to stop and let Phil type one. Which shouldn't be so great. Okay. Probably so, yes. Can I get a motion?
I would make the motion that the Town of Crewe accept, the gift, from Crew Cares to have it set up at the library. And anything that we need to do along with that to assist.
Okay, can I get a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Okay, motion carries. There you go.
That for next steps.
There you go, Vice Mayor. Wait a second, because I lost all, whatever. Okay, moving on to informational items. You see all those on your agenda?
I would like, in the informational things, I would like to give AI the kudos for putting together a great thing, and maybe the town manager had a little something to do with it. But AI does great work.
Yeah,
And,
AI does.
That document in there looks really good, really professional.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
sure
AI and I thank you. It's a,
Yeah.
in,
I'm sure you had the questions, so
Canva.
it looks very good, it's very well done.
So, as far as the informational items,
So informational items, just real quick. The Virginia Mayor's Institute and VML conference, annual conference, are coming up. In the past decade and a half, I've been the only one from Nottaway County to go to this event. If anyone's interested in attending, just let us know. We do have funding in the budget for it. It's in Roanoke this year.
Oh, it's that one.
okay.
Um,
Oh, yes, at the
No,
Hotel
I guess
Roanoke, isn't it?
technically Ann did go to one in 2020 when it was virtual, so that's it. But if anyone wants to attend those events, let us know so we can get you signed up
When do we have to tell you?
as soon as possible.
Okay. Is that you?
Will you guys take care of setting up the Koya Foya?
So if anyone wants to, let me go in order and then I'll get to that
Oh,
one.
okay, it was just the next thing.
Well, item 13B is the activation and investment plan. And that's just, I have the explanation there. That's just something that you can use when you go out and talk to people. We made that to accompany different grant applications and such, because we were getting the question, well, what else are you doing for this? And tell us a little bit about the momentum that you're doing. So we threw all that in there in a attractive way.
Okay.
And then next item was the Koya Foya training,
The what?
which the CRC is putting on Friday the 21st of November.
Isn't Gernhardt the head of the?
Yes.
I would like to go to that.
Yeah, I do too. I will too.
Okay, I will, so I'll put down the two of you. Anyone else want to?
I might want to go. When is it again?
I would recommend,
That, you said that before. Yeah, we all need to go.
as a member of an elected governing body, you're elected member of governing body, you're required to have that training. So I would recommend all of you, as many of you as possible, attend that.
Where is that
That's
again?
in
Keysville.
at the,
Oh, that's at CRC, yeah.
CRC, right.
Okay.
And what date and time?
Friday, the November 21st, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay. All right.
And get lunch.
And then we have all of our mini events. Well, not everything is an event, but
Oh, right, the various events.
the Taste of Crewe is not August 29th, it's September 12th.
Yeah, so, let's see, we'll be flushing hydrants on October 8th. What else is on there? Chicken Festival, be sure to get your tickets, they're on sale now. Fall cleanup will be October 20th through 23rd. We're starting to plan for the Christmas parade already. And the Wild Game Exotic Meat Chili Cook-Off. Yeah. We need to start.
Where are you going to do
planning.
that at?
We are
Either
minorly
in here or at the
planning the Christmas parade. I haven't done anything.
That's why, maybe in here.
So, I have one thing, which I forgot to say after the whole trash debacle, because I was exhausted after that whole thing and everybody was mad at me. On the Taste of Crewe, I know what you said, Phil, but it bugs me and it doesn't make sense to me. So I just wanted to bring it up again in front of council because it doesn't make sense to me about the sign. So, the sign, the big sign that they had out for Taste of Crewe, that was out by the park.
I don't even go that way like talking about.
Okay, it's like that, you know, those big black signs with the letters on them, like a VDOT sign, kind of, sort of. Well, it was out there for a Taste of Crewe, and all of the dates were on it. But Phil said we couldn't put it out there for each event because it was something about the CARES Act and what it's really supposed to be for. The way that Taste of Crewe is set up now, and the town helped me greatly, the guys helped me with it, but we have it in the back, and they turn their windows to the park, and the guys brought all the picnic tables up there so people could sit, and hang out. Well, the people coming down the road can't see it because it's in the back, and they kept saying, I'm so glad you had this sign here, or we would have missed it. But now,
Does it have to be in the back?
yes, it does, yeah. Well, because of the parking, because when we did the fundraiser, there were 3 people that ended up in the ditch and 1 tore up her car, and it was a disaster.
They parked it in the parking lot at the rec, right? On
Yeah,
our side of the
yeah,
road.
yeah. So,
Is that where I missed it that night. I was not happy that I missed it because
the Taste of Crewe, yeah.
the logo is off the hook.
So always roll with it. But I just need to understand, because we do it for lots of things. And is there some event on the 12th why I can't have the sign out there? Is there somebody asking for that sign? Why I can't have it?
Our policy is we will put it out for town events or government events, generally a week or so in advance. For one-time events. When it comes to recurring events, so a couple things with this. It was out there for a while for the first event, and it listed the dates for all of the food truck events. Few issues that we could potentially encounter. One is that sign was purchased with CARES Act money for emergency messaging. If a sign is there for an extended period of time, it almost becomes white noise. It would be the same thing as if we started using our emergency notification system to advertise events and such. We've stayed away from that in order to keep it specifically for emergencies. We don't want it to become white noise. Second thing is the recurring event versus one-time event. We have other recurring events in town for which we don't use that sign for advertising. We have the pancake supper in here it's the town's event that Crewe Cares runs for us, and then Crewe Cares gets the revenue. But the purpose of that is to give people an opportunity to come in and and then there's other one-time events that may conflict. So there is another entity had reached out to me about a food truck rodeo. A government entity reached out to me about a food truck rodeo in. It's not. I made sure that it wasn't on the same date as one of these, but it's for the sheriff's department. They want to include that as part of their. They do that annual softball tournament. So those are the reasons why we have the policy. But of course, it's council's choice, so we can get.
Well, I mean, it is a town event, right? I mean, it's our event. It's not us advertising for someone else's event that's in conjunction. Isn't this considered a town?
It's a town event, and the sales tax goes to the town.
It's our sign. CARES Act never put any strings on anything else that they did. They've never been here to look at this building. They've never been here to look at the sign. If it helps the food rodeo, great. Sheriff's office, Nottaway County got one of them signs too. And so if there were a problem there, then, the sheriff's office can borrow the county sign and bring the county sign. I just don't see where it's a big deal. I mean, it helps us.
Yeah.
It's an event. It's something to bring people to the park.
I mean, unless there's,
Lots of good reports about the first time.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was really upset that I missed it. I
Yeah,
thought
it was
about
very good.
9 o'clock that night, and I looked at my wife and I went, I could have that. Okay.
I did appreciate the guys in the town coming and moving all the picnic tables and making a little.
well, let's put it on there unless something else comes up.
Yeah.
If there's no conflict, I don't see why it would be.
Do you need to vote on that?
If for no other reason than selfishness, I would like for that event to grow.
Yeah.
It all got me all eat up on this
Food truck.
events and making things happen.
Yeah.
I don't like doing anything halfway, so if we're gonna do it,
Yeah.
do it. I think as soon as that's immediately, when that's over with, you need that park right in the middle of 460 with the chicken festival dates and the chicken.
Well, that was the other thing, because
I think there's room for both. I'd park it
But
right
you
in the
can
middle.
do it. You can have Taste of Crewe 9/12, Chicken Festival 10/18, because you had 3 dates on there for me.
You need a big chicken.
We could have
A chicken.
field trips and a chicken costume.
Can you do like graphics in the thing? You need a big chicken on the sign with Crewe Chicken Festival.
I wonder if you can do that.
This date, www.townofcrewe.com.
We can certainly look into that.
I bet there's somebody here who could help with banners.
I know who that
We
is.
do have a banner for the chicken festival coming in, which we're also going to put in that location.
Do we have to have some active?
I think it's already in, isn't it? It's been in, Phil. Phil, your banner has been in for the chicken festival.
Yes, so we already have it in. That's right. We were waiting on the ticket stuff to get done. So because we don't want to say buy your tickets now and people don't have a place to buy tickets. Okay, so it sounds
Okay.
with policy we try to stick with policy unless council says otherwise, and we'll.
I think we're fine. I think we need to use every tool we have to our advantage in every endeavor that we have. If we're gonna, you guys have got me
Agree.
on this downtown revitalization and money getting spent, and I don't like spending money. So if we're gonna do it, don't because I think that I am looking forward to those trucks in the other spot that we
Down here,
previously discussed. And I think you gotta build that momentum.
You do.
So that when you open that, not only that our people come downtown to the spot and look and partake, but that the trucks are available to come. And the only way they're gonna come is if they're making money.
And they made money. And the other thing is, if you do it for like a year or however long it takes, then it's going to be easy to move it one block over to where it's going to be, because they're going to be like, where is it? Okay, so we have more public comment. You have any more? Okay. Okay. So anybody have announcements, points of personal privilege? Councilman Payne? Councilman Stith? I don't even have to say your name. Vice Mayor Stinson? Councilman Zadowski? Woman? Councilwoman Stout? Okay. All righty then. So I heard you say we were going into closed session, so. All right. I don't even forgot what I'm doing. Can I get a motion to go into closed session? We don't need that.
The
Oh, that's right, you have that.
Go in closed session pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A3. Discussion or consideration of the acquisition of real property for public purpose or for the disposition of publicly held real property where discussion in an open meeting would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body.
I'll move that we go into closed session.
You're in closed session. Does anybody want 5 minutes to go do something?
Well, I've got to turn off the.
He's gotta turn off all the video.
Yeah.
Is there a vote on that?
We vote when we come out. We certify.
Yeah, you did the certification, but there was a motion.
There's a motion and a second.
Oh, there wasn't a vote. All in favor? We are now in closed session. Forgive me, it has been a very long, arduous day.
Said it starts at 4:45 on Wednesday?
Yes, so if yours is, what did you say?
That's what I thought about the trash.
An hour? All right, so yours would start at, yes, your part would start at 4:45. I'm so sorry, I've been doing school all day. I still have to do stuff when I get home. Did not anticipate this to run as long as it did. So, yeah.
It's like 2 blocks over
And you're coming tomorrow? Next week? You're coming Wednesday? See, look, I can only deal with one day at a time. And we had to Zoom on Mondays, and that's what I was telling the kids. We just, something about